Welcome to day 6 of learning how to design for 3D printing, and in today's video we're going to learn how to make this 3D printable pill organizer from start to finish. This design is going to be a little bit more complex than what we're used to, but I promise I'm going to walk you every step of the way, and by then I'll show you exactly how to 3D print a model and even more so how to 3D print a design when you're trying to use as little supports as possible to get the best outcomes for your 3D prints. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into my computer and get started. Okay, so here we are within Fusion 360, and the first thing we need to do here is to create a new design. To start, let's hover over to the right hand side, click on New Design, and Fusion 360 is going to prompt us to select an option. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different since we're creating two parts and pieces which make up the entire product. Instead of selecting part design, which creates up or sums up an individual part or piece, we're actually going to select hybrid design, which lets us create multiple parts and pieces that interact with each other within Fusion and that we can separate, giving them their own unique profile and identity within their timeline. With that said, let's go ahead and select hybrid design and click on Create New. Now, the first thing we want to do here is to save this. So I'm gonna press Command S, type in day 6 pill organizer, and press save. Now, with that completed, you can see here on the top left-hand side in our browser menu that this has been made or saved within our canvas here. The next thing I want to do here is to create a total of 2 new components, so that way we can actually separate the parts. So to start, what we want to do here is to select the new component icon here in the middle section of our screen. Select new components, and then this dialog box here is going to appear within our canvas. Now, don't worry about the extra options within our dialog box here. What we're going to do is just name this to slider, which is going to be our first component, and press OK. Now, as you can see, on the left-hand side, it has created a new component within Fusion 360. Let's go ahead and toggle our top level component, which is going to host everything that we have beneath it. Then create another component, and let's go ahead and name this to container. And then press OK. Now, as you see within Fusion, we've created 2 new components. We have the slider, and then we have container. Now, whenever we're working on a certain part or piece, we're gonna work on that piece individually within its proper components. And the reason why this is important is because, let's just say if you want to create a design, but maybe you wanna test that design by changing the dimensions, the sizing, the features, or maybe something about that design. You can actually copy these pieces and paste it as an entirely new project without it affecting the original one, which I'll show you exactly how that looks like later on in the video. So to start, let's go ahead and start off with our container, which is the easiest one. So go ahead and toggle the container component here and activate the component that allows us to start designing for that specific folder there. To start, let's go ahead and click on Create Sketch, then select the front plane here. Now what we want to do here is hovering over to the top left-hand side, rectangle, then selecting center rectangle. From here, let's go ahead and draw out the origin, and we're going to set the dimensions here to 30 by 40. Pressing enter on my keyboard, and now you should have something that looks like this. Let's go ahead and press E on our keyboard, which is going to take us out the sketch environment and allow us to extrude this profile. And what I want you to do is to set the direction from one side to symmetric. This means if I were to set the value to, let's just say 60 millimeters, by default, it's going to extrude one side of this profile 60 millimeters to the right, and then one side of this profile 60 millimeters to the left, which gives us a total length of around 120 millimeters. So I'll go ahead and press OK. And just to confirm the length of this box here or this rectangle, you can use this inspect feature here called the measure icon. And you can measure one edge here of this box going all the way to the right. And as you can see, that is 120 millimeters, like as done with the extrude feature within Fusion. Let's go ahead and close this out, and let's start adding some features to this. So I'm gonna press F on my keyboard, which allows us to use the fillet option within Fusion, selecting all 4 edges around this rectangle. Now that we have all 4 edges selected, let's go ahead and fillet this in to around 10 millimeters, and then press OK. Now, the next thing we need to do here is to create the opening or the insert for our pill organizer. To do that, we're going to use the shell feature within Fusion, then select this face here, and we're going to set the value to 2 millimeters. Once done, we'll press OK. And now you have the overall shape and features for our container. Now, with that done, go ahead and press Command S, make sure to save it within Fusion, press OK. And now let's move on to the next piece. Now, to do that, we can hover over to the slider icon here within the components menu here, and let's go ahead and activate this. Now, as you notice within Fusion, once you activate the new component, the previous one is going to kind of turn into this like opaque, transparent look. But what you'll also notice here is that our timeline is now completely blank. And if I were to toggle in between the two, our timeline has all the features we added, while if we were to toggle on the previous one, all of them are gone. Now, if you want to see the timeline for every single thing that you've created, you can toggle the top level component here, which is going to show everything you've done from the very start, which is why it's critical to kind of organize these parts and pieces, because you can actually see everything you've done from the very top level to its own unique level where you created its component. So let's go ahead and activate the slider component here within Fusion, and let's start with our sketch. So to start, we're going to click on Create Sketch, and then what we want to do here is to select the front face on our product here. Now, with that done, we need to go ahead and create an offset. And this offset is going to create a gap for us to put in the pill organizer inside the container. So I'll press O on my keyboard, then selecting this edge or this sketch piece here, and dragging this in to 0.16. And making sure that the line or the offset that you create actually goes inward instead of outwards. So 0.16, and then press OK. Now, with that done, let's go ahead and press E on our keyboard, selecting the profile we just made. And now what we want to do here is to set this profile extending all the way to the very back of this face here. Now, you kind of can't see it. It's a little bit difficult to see, but as you notice here, as I hover over it, it kind of highlights as my cursor kind of goes over the product. So to do this, what I want you to do is to select the extend type from distance to to object. And then what I can do is I can actually hover over my product here. And as I hover over it, it's kind of hard to tell. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna rotate this around. I'm gonna select this face and I'm gonna hold down my cursor. And by holding down my cursor, this actually allows me to select the inside piece of my model here. You can see here, it's actually separated into 4 different faces. What I wanna do is to select the face that actually represents the piece on the inside. And as you hover over it, it's gonna highlight it. You can see that this face actually is in the inside, this face is on the front, this face is in the inside, and this face is kind of like the curved edges that we created with that fillet. What I want to do is to select this inside face. Now, you can't really tell that well unless you actually zoom in, so I would suggest you zoom in, hold your cursor, then go ahead and select the second face here. Once done, that's going to extrude your profile going all the way to the inside of your container. Now, the unique thing about this feature is that this is going to extrude it all the way to the very end, which means that since this is extruded all the way to the very end and the distance is set to 2, that means in any case, let's just say if I wanted to make my pill organizer longer, if I were to make this pill organizer longer, and just to quickly show you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over to my container. So don't follow along, I'm just quickly showing you. Going to container, and let's just say I wanted this to be longer for whatever reason. So maybe instead of 60, I set this to 70. And I press OK. You can see now our slider, or the slider that we created, that is going to extend all the way, factoring in that 70 that I preset there. So of course, I'm going to undo this since this doesn't follow along the original part of the tutorial. So like I mentioned, don't follow along. I'm just quickly showing you what that looks like. So going back to my slider here, now that I have my product fully modeled within Fusion, the next thing we need to do here is to create the handle for our container. More specifically, a part or piece that we can actually attach onto, or that we can kind of get our hands on in order to pull this out. So if I were to press E on my keyboard, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and toggle on my slider and make sure to turn on Sketch 1. Then from here, zooming in, and what we're gonna do is to select all the profiles that we just created here, and making sure that you select the one that we just created in the center, which is the offset one. Then pressing E on our keyboard, setting the distance to 10 millimeters, and make sure the operation is set to join and press OK. Now let's go ahead and turn off our container since we won't need that for now. So I can toggle off the eye icon here on the top left-hand side, and now we've turned off our container. Okay, so now that we've created our container, the next thing we need to do here is to create an opening for it, and as well as some cutout and subsections to put in our pills. So to start, what we're gonna do here is click on Create Sketch, then select the top face here. And what I wanna do here is reorient this to kind of get a better look, and I'm gonna press O on my keyboard. This is gonna allow us to create an offset. So I'll go ahead and select this top face here, which is this line here, and I'll offset this by 4 millimeters. I'll press enter, and as you can see, this created a rectangle going all around our product. Now, don't worry if it extends over our design. What we're gonna do is press L on our keyboard and then create a total of 2 lines. One here at the left, making sure that there's some spacing between this line here and this line here, and one here on the right. Don't worry if it's not perfect. We'll go ahead and dimension this out by pressing D on our keyboard, selecting the edge of the body, then our sketch, setting the value to 2 millimeters. Same thing for the left-hand side. From the left, setting this to 2 millimeters. And now we have our profile. Then what we're gonna do is press E on our keyboard and select the profiles that we just created, which is a total of 3 different profiles. And as you can see, since we created an offset that basically sketch out the entire piece here, we can actually just use the ones we created on the inside rather than using the whole sketch that we just created. So let's go ahead and drag this down to, let's just say, somewhere between -22. And press OK. Make sure the operation is set to cut so that way you actually cut into your product. Okay, so the next thing we need to do here is to create several different sections. To start, we'll click on Create Sketch, then we'll select the bottom plane here. And what we want to do here is to press L on our keyboard and create a total of 2 lines from the left-hand side going all the way to the right, making sure it's completely straight. Then from the left all the way to the right once again, then pressing D on our keyboard, we'll go ahead and dimension this out. And I'll leave this to around, let's just say 1 millimeter. Next, I'll also dimension the side here. And I would say somewhere around 15, which is a little under 1 inch, but pretty close to 1 inch. So I'm good with that. Once done, let's go ahead and finish sketch. Press E on our keyboard, and let's go ahead and drag this out. And we'll drag this out all the way to the very top, right as it meets our fillet. I'm gonna make sure to set the operation to join and press OK. Now, with that complete, let's go ahead and finish this up by using this feature called Pattern on Path, which basically allows us to duplicate the feature that we just created without having to manually sketch it and manually extrude every single profile. So to do that, we'll press S on our keyboard, which brings up the design shortcuts, and we'll look up a feature called Pattern. So we'll type in Pattern, and then use this feature called Pattern on Path. Then we'll select the object type to features, selecting the objects, which is in our timeline, which is the last feature we just created, then selecting the path and making sure that we select the bottom line here, which is going to use as our reference for this path. Now we're going to go ahead and drag this out all the way to the very edge and just kind of eyeballing this for the most part. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll create multiple quantities. So from 3, we'll actually change this to 6. And we'll kind of drag this out to kind of get a good look as to what those look like. And I'd say 82 will work just fine. So I think this is just enough. Doesn't have to be accurate. We're not aiming for accuracy. We're aiming for practice. So I'm good with this. Looks like there's enough spacing in between each part. Make sure that you have your setup exactly as mine and press OK. Now that you have multiple sections for your product, we're pretty much almost done. So the last thing we need to do here is to export this into our slicer. But one key thing to consider is that since we have this product fully designed, that if we were to try to export this to our slicer, and just to quickly show you, so I'll right click on my body, save as mesh, and then export it to our slicer, you'll actually see that inside our slicer that we're not actually able to 3D print this without supports. And let me just quickly show you. So for example, if I were to disable supports, then click on Slice Plate, you can see that there is kind of like some spacing underneath our product, which can be an issue because if we're trying to 3D print this, well, this is obviously not going to print the right way. And if I were to reorient this, let's just say 90 degrees, so maybe right side up and click on Slice, you can see that the interior piece would require supports, which obviously is something we don't want. And no matter what direction we set this product in, whether it's 180 degrees going from the bottom up, same exact thing. And obviously this is an issue because for a product where we're trying to avoid supports, well, I mean, realistically, we would have to add them in order to get the result that we want. But there's actually one feature that we can use within Fusion that can quickly change pretty much our ability to print this without requiring supports. And I'll show you exactly how to add that feature. So let's go back into Fusion and let's add this feature called chamfer. And we've already used this feature before. We've used it many different times. But in fact, if you're able to provide or change your design in such a way that doesn't affect the output or what it does, just by simply changing the design, then I'm all for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a chamfer by selecting modify, clicking on chamfer. And what I wanna do here is to select this bottom edge. Just make sure that the edge that you select has tangent chain turned off. So go ahead and turn this off, then select this edge, and let's go ahead and drag this in to, let's just say, around 10 millimeters. So that's just thick enough or chamfered enough. I would say actually maybe a little less, let's just say 8. That looks good to me. Press OK. Now, if we were to go ahead and export this to our slicer, right click, save as mesh, and export this to our slicer. I'm gonna delete the previous one. And now, as you can see, we can actually reposition this on this face and then slice it. And now you get the exact same model without having to use supports. And one thing to consider about 3D printing is that not every product or design you make is gonna be 3D printing friendly, meaning that sometimes it's gonna require supports, external pieces, or sometimes it might be an organic structure that isn't so square or rectangular, and you'll often have to reorient it in such a way in order to get the best quality or results possible. And in this instance, we added a chamfer at the bottom, which connects to this face here to the surface area of our build plate, allowing us to print this at a 45-degree angle. And just to quickly show you, if I were to turn on supports, turn on auto, and slice plate, you can see that this is not going to generate any supports, simply because most 3D printers, especially newer 3D printers, are pretty good at handling these sort of things. And for the most part, as long as you have a clean build plate, you'll have no issues with this. So let's go ahead and finish this up by going back to Fusion, then turning on our container. We'll go ahead and export our container into our slicer. And now we have our product at a 45-degree angle, and we'll do the same for our container. Putting this right side up, clicking slice plate, and now you have your product fully designed within Fusion 360. This is gonna take us about 3 hours to print, roughly around 4 hours, so not too bad. And as you can see, this gives us a final result with no supports, without changing the entire product, and being able to print everything with little to no issues. So let's finish this up and go back into Fusion, because one thing that we have within Fusion is the components here on the left-hand side. And I wanna quickly touch on this for those of you who are getting used to designing within Fusion, and even more so, especially if you wanna further your skills around this software. So one thing to consider is that if we were to go ahead and toggle on our top level component, which is everything that we created underneath our component, toggle this on, you can see that now our timeline has been filled with everything that we've done up to this point so far. And that if we were to select individual components, it's actually going to show exactly what we made or designed for that specific piece. And if we're to toggle on our container, it's going to show exactly that we've made or designed in our timeline here at the bottom of our screen. And the cool thing about Fusion is that you can individually work on parts and pieces, which is in essence the hybrid design approach within Fusion, which allows you to work on individual Lego blocks that you're working on without it taking up your whole timeline. And this is incredibly important to get into the habit of doing this, because this allows you to organize your products, designs, and files, and being able to make changes on the fly without having to manually sift through a timeline and having to find exactly where you left off for a specific piece. So with that said, I just wanted to add that quick point. Let's go ahead and go back into our slicer, print this out, and see how it turns out. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, want to get access to more tutorials, guides, and resources, and master 3D printing, and maybe even design and create your own custom products and designs, make sure to check out 3D Printing School. 3D Printing School gives you everything you need from start to finish to creating your own models from scratch, design everything from 3D printable designs to a live community, and as well as support in case if you ever want to turn your hobby into a full-time business. And if you're interested about that, I'll leave a link down below in the description. But with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.